What's up, guys? It is now December, which means the return of the What If in the New Year series, where we discuss new games coming in the new year as well as games we would like to see. And this year, I'll be doing all the anime stuff on my anime channel, Otaku Kuruze, link in the description, instead of doing it on the main one. So check that out over there if you would like to keep up with the anime side as well. As always, we kick the season off with Jak 4. Unless you are a weirdo, it is clear to everybody that PlayStation is surviving this gen with remakes and reboots only. Nothing new is really taking their top spot. Each year, it's pretty much just remakes and reboots that's keeping PlayStation the dominant selling console as of right now, until of course Switch overpasses them later, but right now they are still top dogs, even if their days are numbered. But let's elaborate on that a little bit more. In 2013, there was no good games for the PlayStation, at least as far as exclusives go. In 2014, only the infamous reboot, which was, mixed reception. In 2015, there was absolutely nothing for PlayStation. In 2016, they had the Ratchet & Clank remake. In 2017, they had the Shadow of the Colossus remake. In 2018, they had the God of War reboot. In 2019, Medieval remake, and in 2020, Final Fantasy VII remake. So when you look at the straight facts, you can see creating new experiences is not the focus of PlayStation, but rather rebooting and recreating the old experiences, or licensing exclusives of the old experiences such as Final Fantasy VII, which in my opinion is the best option. I mean, look at Nintendo. Nintendo does it with Zelda every single generation, and every single generation that has a new Zelda is always the game of the generation, while having the same story every single time, and essentially being the same game with a new paint job. That is pretty much what Nintendo does with Zelda. So to say PlayStation is bad or following a bad practice for adopting this would be a gross misrepresentation, because over 100 million consoles sold on a console that is literally just for remakes and reboots, that's pretty good in my opinion. That brings me to my next point. Now that we set up the foundation, how likely would a Jak 4 announcement be in 2020? I mean, we've had a renaissance, so to say, with the recent physical releases of the Jak games gaining attention and spotlight once more. So with the new generation coming, and Naughty Dog releasing The Last of Us abruptly ending the development of that game, what could their next game be? If we're being real, it's probably not Jak. It's probably another Uncharted to go along with the movie, as in a reboot to the series or something like that. But it could be that a different company makes Jak 4 or a Jak reboot. I mean, as we established, PlayStation is only interested in reboots and remakes. So if one of their smaller studios, because PlayStation does own quite a many studios, took on Jak, we could see it that way. But that would be the only way we could see it. I hate to admit it, but Jak is probably dead and gone. It's probably going where every failed series in the history of video games goes to die. PlayStation Now. And that's about it, sadly. I would love a new Jak game, but judging by the current leadership of PlayStation, it's probably more likely that they'll focus on their successful games of the past instead, and with the PS5 being backwards compatible, that's probably the only Jak experience we'll have. Luckily, we still have fan games and cool theory channels, but other than us aging fans of the Jak, it is, in all terms of the word, dead and gone. Which is quite sad, and even when you look at it, those of us who was with Jak in the beginning time, except for the kids who played it like way later, like I am in the youngest crowd of it. I'm 22 years old. I am in the youngest year of Jak and Daxter fans who was there in the beginning. I am the youngest. I am 22. The average Jak fan is close to 30 or over 30. We are an aging demographic, and we are probably not going to see this come back. This is probably going to be our Tumba or Klonoa. So that's kind of sad when you really think about it. But, it's just the train of life when it comes to these kinds of games. Anyways, this has been the first episode of What If in 2020. I hope you'll join tomorrow for another episode, as well as checking out the anime channel for the anime What Ifs. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you have not already. Try not to die, and I will see you in the next video.